Hi, hello, hello, hi, and welcome to all our hearts and minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good, the bad, the concerning and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart,
Yeah, yeah.
and then there's me, Jeanette, your mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back again,
Yes.
everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the first episode back. Um, New Year, same chaos. It's up. Take a listen.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're
Mm-hmm.
back again. We're going to be talking about a lot of current events happening.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy Druski story. A lot of craziness. We wanted to make sure we have a good blend this week because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things last week that were a little bit of a downer. So we're trying to bring it. We're
Yep.
bringing it up this week. We're bringing it up.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay. So, of course, before we get into anything, we have to do our checkup and check in with each other. So, Kimmy, how was your week?
It was okay. Yeah, so this week there was like a huge snowstorm, and
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
since Thursday I've been at home. So which is great, right?
yeah. Right,
But the work still comes,
right.
and the work is working, and overall, I'm just grateful that I have an opportunity of working from home, that I'm in a career that I can.
Right.
Because I couldn't imagine like having to be like a first responder or a nurse or a doctor where you have to go to the hospital.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, there's some jobs you just you have to go. People are relying on you.
right?
Your job involves
There's
yeah.
no can I work from home today? You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So just this week I've been trying to be grateful for the things that I do have and that are good in my life, and overall it was an okay week, you
Okay,
know?
that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I got this baking bug. Like, I don't know. I just started
Started
baking out of
baking. Yeah, it's a
control.
winter. You're inside. You're
Right?
inside a little bit more. You get bored. You're like,
Right?
you see a good recipe somewhere. You're
You
like,
see what I'm saying?
I think I'll try that.
Right? So I have this really good chocolate chip recipe, like chocolate chip cookie recipe, and
Hmm.
I've like changed it up in so many different ways. Like, so
Hmm.
last week I made M&M. So I had M&M peanuts and plain M&Ms in my chocolate chips, and
Hmm.
like, you know what? Sidetrack, I'm going down this rabbit hole real quick. But when I go to the grocery store and I see certain products, like I see, cookies in the, I'm not saying that I've never bought them, and I probably might buy them again, but it's like I can make this and I can make it better,
Yeah,
and I
you can
can
make
make
it with
more
less
of it.
sugar.
Like, I just like, it just doesn't make any sense to me anymore. Like, when I see certain things that I used to buy all the time,
Hmm.
I'm like, I could make some chocolate chip cookies. Mine will be better. And I made like 48 of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're wholesome. Like, I know the flour that was in it.
Hmm.
I spent a pretty penny on my eggs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, yeah. So I made some cornbread. I made some banana muffins. Like, I'm just
Wow, you're out. The bug hit you. Is
yes,
it just
girl.
throughout the week? Throughout the week
Right?
or past couple weeks that you've been doing that?
Well, last this past week I just really got in. I don't know why. I have the stuff. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Instead of buying pre-made muffins, I have bananas. I have a really good banana muffin recipe that my mom gave to me, and
Yeah.
like, honestly, I'm just like, I can make it so much better.
And your
A
mom's a
few
baker, right? She
Yeah, she
bakes.
is. And
Hmm.
and I have these, like, times where I really get into it and I'm doing
Hmm.
so much, and
Hmm.
then I just cut it off for like a good few months, and I
Okay.
don't like to do it. I don't know, like, I have to
It is
feel
a
into
tedious. You
it.
do have to have a lot of patience.
You do, because it's not even the ingredients and putting them together, it's the baking time, right?
Hmm.
Like 48 cookies, like I'm baking 2 trays at a time, like, come on. And they weren't like measly cookies, like, girl. And
Hmm.
I'm just saying, a few years ago, I went to, how you'd go to the grocery store and you'd buy those pre made muffins?
Right. Yeah.
One time I went and I bought one, and it was molded at the bottom. And
Oh, that sounds traumatizing.
I was like, I can do this so much better. Like, and the stuff that they have to put into the muffins, like, to preserve it,
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
right? And so, anyway, back to what I was saying. Overall,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a baking type of week. I've been trying to be grateful. Work has been working. Life is okay over here. It's wintertime over here in Canada. I'm
So
trying to
just trying
get a
to
little
say
sunlight
low.
wherever I can. I'm taking my
Yeah.
vitamin D like it's going out of style. Like I'm telling you. Anyway, how about you, girl? How was your week? Let me check in with you.
It was good. Nothing too crazy, but like you, I was listen that, and it's so funny because the morning of the snowstorm on Thursday,
Mhm.
I was like really like I had to get there early too. It wasn't like a work. Normally, I could like take my time,
Mhm.
and if I get to work after 9:30, it's not the end of the world. But
Mhm.
I had to get there before 9:30, and I was like, not in this weather.
Right?
And how am I? Even if I take the train, that's still going to
Mm-mm.
be a task. So I was like looking out on my. We have group chats for my team. So I was looking out for the group chat message to be like
Mhm.
to get the green light because normally when we get these bad because I saw it was like a orange level warning and like it
Mhm.
wasn't like no regular snowstorm. It was like really
No.
dangerous. They're like saying if you could stay home, stay home. And even
Please
the
stay
kids the
home.
kids had to stay home. So
Mhm. Yup.
yeah, so the message did come in. I was surprised it came a little bit late. It was like came in after 8:30. I was like, what the hell? I was looking
Right?
out for that message from 8 o'clock.
I'm telling you, like don't play. Like
Because
it's all
either
about
way,
the
I don't think
Zoom.
I was
Thank you.
going, to be honest. The way I was leaning, I was like, yeah, I
Right?
don't think. But anyway, so that was the only big excitement I think this week. So yeah, I'm doing okay. Still just getting into the swing of things and so but it's been nice that I could ease into it. I can't say I'm grateful for that it hasn't been
Mhm.
like just like a cold pail of water, ice water thrown on me. It's just been like,
Mhm.
okay, we're easing into this 2026 thing. Yeah, so you thank God for it all.
Yup. Every day.
Every
Mhm.
day. And so before we jump into headlines, um if you're tuning in, this is a section of the show where we thank you for continuing to
Yes.
listen
Thank
or
you,
checking us
y'all.
out, and taking a chance on our podcast. And if you do like what you hear here or the content, please rate and follow and
Yes.
subscribe
On
to the
everything.
podcast wherever
Mhm.
you listen to it, particular on Apple and Spotify. You can
Mhm.
follow, you can rate. So thanks again for tuning in.
Mhm.
All
As
right, so
always. Mhm.
let's get into the nitty gritty.
The real things.
The real
Mhm.
thing. So we're gonna start with some local news because we didn't really get to
Yes.
talk about any of that last week. Something big, I would say, because
Mhm.
something
Sure is.
one of the reasons why last year was kind of questionable was all the nervousness about tariffs,
Yep.
um, and our on our economy, Trump's tariffs last year.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
as we all predicted and saw, our government, the Canadian government, has been brokering deals with other nations to kind of compensate for some of the, industry hits we hit, like financially with tariffs from the US.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, essentially, Canada has made an initial deal with China,
Mhm.
on some products, namely, well, they seem they're canola, lobster, crab, and
Mhm.
peas. And
Mhm.
as basic as hear those are huge staples, massive
Huge.
staples in Canada in
Mhm.
terms of making money, and export business,
Especially
right?
canola. Mhm.
Canola in particular, yes, canola
Mhm.
is a big consistent one, and also there was a little bit there was a markdown on Chinese electric vehicles,
Yep.
which a lot of the backlash and criticism is really centered on that product,
Yeah.
um because across North America, particularly Canada and the US, we have been very um wary, I think the word is to use,
Mhm.
of because let's get it right, correct, China has, I would say, I think I can comfortably say China has one of the most advanced electric vehicle
Sure do.
markets
Sure do.
right now. I see the videos, I see the stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Elon Musk needs to
damn.
take a page.
He's
Needs to go
lucky.
take a page.
Right. I'm like, damn, you could get all that and it costs a fraction of what we charge here for an EV or a gas vehicle.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so yeah, I would encourage anybody to kind of do some of their research there.
Yep.
I almost in COVID time I kind of regret it's just because it was China, but there was a lot of new stocks coming up with the EV vehicle market in Canada
Yep.
in China. So
Yep.
this is if you have EV Chinese electric vehicle stocks, this is a huge signal. If
Yep.
we're starting about talking money things and business things, but yeah, so they're going to slash the tariffs on 49,000 Chinese EVs, 6% down from 100%. So
It's still highly
it's
taxed. Like,
down it's down to 6.1%. It used to be 100%, Kim.
oh wait, sorry. So did you say 6% from 100, or do you
Yeah,
mean
first
it's 6%?
even I had to read it again cuz I'm like, what? Now yeah, so it's they will slash tariffs on 49 a set limited amount of of EVs vehicles down to 6.1% to 6.1% down from 100%. So that was a
Okay.
massive.
That's, yeah, but it's on it's on a, like, an amount. So it's not
Exactly.
like unlimited,
No,
right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
so,
Exactly. So
because
that's
you know them Chinese, once they get that door
exactly so
open,
that's a good like control factor. I think in terms of
test it
like
out.
test it out exactly for this 50. Let's round it up, 50,000 vehicles. We're going to bring it down,
To
and so
6%. Yeah.
on
Um
surface level, it's overall on surface level, this deal is a good thing because it might be opening doors that may have been being semi closed on us in terms of making profits. Like, you know, these particular industries are making profits with the increased tariffs from the US, right? And so this is a chance to ease up some burden for those businesses if they've been under duress from the US tariffs. But so sounds good. We're making sure we have opportunities if the US continues to be contentious with
mhm.
these products, right? So the conflict is, like I mentioned, the EVs. We have made a big effort, especially the auto industry in North
Mhm.
America, to keep that market where it's at. Okay, to make it difficult. So if you I think in the US you can't even buy them there. Here I don't
Mhm.
know the rules, if there's like you can't, but you can buy them, but you have to, obviously you're paying 100% um tariff. You're going to be like, forget that, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
but it's
Mhm.
it's one of those things like this. Let me think of another. Okay, what about like, because we talk about made in China. If we think about just the difference of manufacturing something in China versus here,
Yeah.
so that alone, I can't
Well,
pinpoint one.
and this is what I'm hearing, is that Carney is trying to make it so that they are manufactured here.
Oh
So,
yes, I love that. Yes,
and
share
that the
that.
Chinese
Hmm.
invest in changing around our facilities
Hmm.
to accommodate manufacturing their product. And
Okay,
so it will ensure jobs,
that's the main thing. Yeah.
right? And you might lose some, but you'll keep majority, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so here's my take on this. And this is why I feel like Carney, I know a lot of people are saying a lot of things, but I
Yeah.
think people need to think forward thinking,
Yeah.
because that's what Carney is doing.
You're
He's
right.
not thinking of just today. And as a Canadian, I will say we relied on the United States so much so
Hmm.
that they controlled our tomorrow.
Hmm.
Okay? And now we have an opportunity to control our own
Hmm.
tomorrow.
Hmm.
And if we don't seize this moment right now in our history, we will never have it again. So, Mark, and why I say that is because this is the way of the future. all of these, car companies, Ford, GM, all of them, they
Right?
want to stay in the good old days where they're
Right?
making billions on top of billions. But what they
Mm-hmm.
don't understand is the way of the future is to ease off of the resources of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And oil, I'm sorry, it's caused enough friction.
Hmm.
Okay. And it's not like we'll never have gasoline vehicles, they will still be there. But the way of the future is in this direction. So people don't want to keep taking and destroying the planet on which we live on. Okay, so they're trying to find other ways of using our resources to still provide us the luxuries that we have, such as vehicles. So I'm sorry to say, but this is the way it's going, and I think a lot of people have to wrap their brain around it. Canada has the infrastructure to deal with this type of an overall agreement with China.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think they're testing it out. I
Yeah.
think they're trying to see what can work. And the only way to do that is to actually have the vehicles here in Canada. Here's the problem politically: the
Mm-hmm.
United States, they're now seeing that their automotive industry is up in flames. China has been steadily trying to bring their vehicles over to this side of the hemisphere.
Oh yeah. So this is a crack in that. Yeah.
What? The door is ajar.
Mm.
Okay. The door is ajar. Okay. And the Chinese will kick down the door and smack your chick. Okay. This is what they're doing. And their chick that they're smacking is Elon Musk, who has been trying to monopolize as the only on this side of the world, on this hemisphere, that has an electric vehicle. He wants to be the king of it.
I won't say
Okay.
the only because there are
Well,
competitors, but he
well,
is the main.
he's the
He's
main because he actually ventured out and started
yeah,
it, and
and he
everybody
has the
followed.
and he has the I would
Patent
say
on it.
not
I
necessarily, but
believe he
I would
has the
say
patent.
commercially he just has the infrastructure to create a lot more cars and service them because it's not just creating manufacturing a car. A lot, these cars need maintenance, and I know you.
Exactly.
I'm sure you notice like as you drive around the city, more
Exactly.
and more Tesla places
Yeah.
popping up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Elon made a poor product. He made a poor product. And all the other major uh car manufacturers are trying to be better at it.
Mhm.
But they can't figure it out quite like the Chinese, because the Chinese have been able to make this car affordable to the everyday man.
Mhm.
You don't have to be making 100,000 in order to own that vehicle. You
Yeah.
don't. You could buy it for less than a vehicle, a EV, a gasoline ran car. That in itself is appealing.
Mhm.
Okay, so they perfected an idea that Elon was trying to be the king of, and unfortunately, the Chinese have kicked down the door and smacked your chick. They're gonna come through Canada. Okay. Yep.
Mhm.
They're gonna come
Right.
through Canada, and once they start making a demand, once there starts a demand, they have 50,000 already. Okay. Once the demand and we have the infrastructure, who wouldn't want to buy a car, even to come through Canada?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
So,
I could see that happen. That's actually a good angle. I could because I
right?
watch a lot of reviews because I'm in the I'm I'm always trying to see what I'm about in the market for a new one. I just don't know
Mm-hmm.
one, but I watch a lot of car reviews. I wish I remember. It's this curly haired black guy. He does amazing 60-second car reviews. But anyway, every once in a while he'll do a Chinese EV, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, they're lucky we can't get those cars here. That's all I gotta say.
Well, you might just start seeing more BYD on the road.
So our friend Dougie, who is Ontario's um premier, pretty much call him our state our state representative. Um, if I want to try and make it comparable to another country, anyway, Doug Ford is furious.
Yeah.
He's calling them, which of course, leave it to him, subsidized spy cars. And of course, he's worried. And this is again, Kim mentioned the big auto companies in his ear. He worries this will tank Ontario's auto industry and piss off the U.S., who is our biggest trade partner. So more to come on that. So if we move this over to the US now, so the US, it was so funny. This is how you know the Trump administration is pure chaos.
Pure
Because
chaos.
because Trump himself one asked, 'cause I think he likes Carney. He seems to like Carney. He said when asked about his reaction to the deal, and I saw the clip. He's like, "Well, it's okay. That's what he should be doing. If you can get a deal with China, you should do that." Right?
But we
And
don't
so
want any of their cars because we want to make our own cars.
right? So Trump said that, and then you have the U.S. Trade Representative, Jameson Greer, when he asked, and he was more along the sides of sounding like Ford, which no surprise there. Is I think it's problematic for Canada. There's a reason why we don't sell a lot of Chinese cars in the U.S. We have tariffs to protect the auto. He said it point blank. We have tariffs to protect American auto workers and Americans from those vehicles. And of course, he's saying the everybody, a lot of people, critics of this deal, are saying, warn that Canada might regret this in the long run. He also makes a point to border check Canada, stating if these cars are coming into Canada, they're not coming here. Well, that's probably what they're going to want, but they're not going to be able to control for that. That's in a
You
perfect
can't
world.
control that because people could go, they could buy a car in Canada,
Mhm.
okay, and drive it over the border.
Well, that's what
So
he's saying. That's what he's trying to say. That it seems like he's gonna. I don't think they can
the
control
thing
for
is,
this, but
like what the United States is forgetting is we have electricity. Stupid. Like we have electricity. We have it. We have the infrastructure.
Mhm,
We've already started from before Tesla was a thing. Okay? Because everywhere, especially in Ontario, you
mhm,
see more and more pop-ups of where charging stations all over the place.
right.
Okay, we have the infrastructure. We have what it takes to have electric vehicles here.
No, that's
Okay?
not what he's saying. He's
No,
saying
I
the
know what he's
Chinese. Yeah.
I understand. I
Mhm.
understand. But here's the thing. This is the way of the future.
Yes, of
So
course.
one way or another, they would come over here. So what why
He,
not at least protect our industry, our automotive industry, by having China pay for us to change over our plants so that they can accommodate, because it's going to happen. And
yeah,
then
sure.
while we get China to change some of our plants that we're making vehicles at to accommodate electric vehicles, then we can maybe make our own. How about that? I'm just
Mm-mm.
saying there's options, and there's more options going into the future. This is the way of the future. Electric cars are the way of the future. So we can, bury our head in the sand and continue to, have wars with every country out here trying to get oil
Mm,
from them.
mm,
Or we can realize that we need to change how we're doing this automotive industry. But that's going to be harder said than done because we have big heads like Doug Ford, okay? And we know who runs those automotive industries, okay? Like let's keep it a whole buck.
mm.
There's more people like Doug Ford that are running those type of
Yep.
automated industries than anybody else. Okay? So it's never been a fair game.
Right.
It's never been a fair game. And so I think you need to adapt.
Yeah.
Carney is adapting.
Yeah, he is. So we'll see. I mean, I for
It could
one,
be problematic if we don't change our infrastructure
we're more in danger to sit on our sit on our ass than not. So I
and
think it's
rely on who?
interesting.
The United
I'm not
States?
my
You can't.
perspective. It's not bad or good. It's just, you know what, we're keeping our open. He's being a good leader and keeping um options open for our various industries. So we'll see where we're
and
going. And
and
like,
and I
mhm,
think it's last thing on it, but I
yeah,
think it kind of balances, because if we're able to do a deal with the automated automotive industry and the electric car and still lower tariffs on our canola,
hmm,
which is a big
it's a
export for
big export.
Canada.
Yeah, massive. Hmm.
So It would balance that way. It would balance our economy that way. Yes, it's only 50,000 now. We don't know where it will go. You have to try it out.
Yeah, yeah,
They
it's a
might say
first.
no altogether. They might stop it dead in its tracks, but at least we're keeping an open relationship with China to help to lower these tariffs on canola and seafood, which is a big export here in Canada. Those lobsters that we have, yeah, we need to export that. Okay, those fishermen aren't taking those lobsters out of the bitter cold for nothing. So
Mhm,
we need to, you know what I mean? So there's a balance that I think that Carney is trying to create here, and I think we need to just sit back and relax and let's see what's popping. What I can give him is that he's already said to the United States, we don't give a shit what you're doing over there, so we are going to move forward. And I
mhm.
think why Trump likes Carney is because Carney allows Trump to be an ass. He allows him to stand up and be an ass. And he
Yeah,
sits back and he watches him be an
and he
ass.
respects a deal maker. You can't
You
gotta
know,
respect that.
yeah, of course, because if Trump had if he had the logic, I think he would have maybe done this a long time ago. But he
Yeah,
had
Kim,
Elon in his
Kim,
back pocket.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
my computer just went dark. But let's pause. Okay,
Okay. Uh, okay.
I'm gonna
So
cut
he
off and
just
come back.
Elon and he just showed Elon, no, you're not going to control this. You're not going to control nothing in here. We can't hear nothing again from Elon. Elon was head into this, okay, because he thought that if he sucked up to Trump, that he was going to be able to run the electric vehicle sector of the automotive industry, but he's not. And so now China's coming around the back. They're coming around the back. Okay, this door's closed, but they're going around the back. Okay, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen with it. I'm just glad that oh shoot. Okay. You're offline. Are you going to refresh? Should I refresh? Let me refresh. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't refresh. Excited to see what is going to transpire with that. I think he's done a deal where we can see what will happen, and at least he's keeping communication and negotiation going on with China. And I think the Chinese have always, or China has always kind of taken to Canada, and I think with all of these Trump wars and all this stuff, it kind of clouded the relationship, the trading relationship. And so hopefully that will turn around. But we'll see what's popping. Doug, you need to go sit down someplace, okay? Go worry about something else. There's lots of things around here you need to worry about. Don't worry just about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mr. Dogs?
Okay, so we'll go on to yeah, this is a good thing for our nation. It was very scary last year with how the US tariffs affected our economy. So this is a good thing. So yeah, this is great. Great. Let's see what happens. So our next story is on the Golden Globes happened,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it was so generally in the movie cycle, it's been very exciting because we have two big black movies that have been kind of making noise, and that is Ryan Coogler's Sinners
Mm-hmm.
and it, One Battle After Another. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a black filmmaker, but he has a few black leads in the film, which make it interesting. But I'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that when I talk about Tiana Taylor. So it was a, Golden Globes is always kind of cringy for me because I usually don't watch it because they always have the comedian making those cringy jokes with the celebrities, and I know it's supposed to be a thing, but I honestly don't like it. It's like
Mm-mm.
have your little light 1-2 joke general and
Right?
moving. But anyway, of the winners, so Sinners, remember back in
Mm-hmm.
the day, we talked about when Sinners came out, the
Yep, yep.
massive success and the shade, some of the shade that some of these industries were kind of putting on the success of the film because
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons. But the biggest reason is not just because it was a black movie, but it was a deal that Ryan Coogler was able to make in terms of owning the rights of the film in 25 years, which is damn near impossible. There's only maybe a couple of other filmmakers who get that kind of deal, and we're talking about the Spielbergs and the guy who did The Godfather. I can't remember his name right now. Those big people.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I've been watching. So there's been three major movie awards so far. There's been the Critics' Choice Award.
Mhm.
There's been the Golden Globes, which is what I'm talking about right now,
Mhm.
and there's been the SAG. Um, oh, I don't think the SAG. I don't know if the Screen Actors Guild and the Screen Actors Guild. I'm not sure if that happened yet, actually. So let me not.
Okay.
But anyway, everybody was very excited for Sinners because Sinners got nominated a lot. So not only was it a box office hit, but it's been getting good. It's been getting nominated in all the big award shows, and we're still waiting for the Oscar. I think, did the Oscars announce them? I should check since we're talking about it, because pretty much the Golden Globes is like a precursor to the Oscars.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not necessarily back in the. It's not necessarily if you win for um a Golden Globe that you're gonna
Mhm.
win a Oscar, but usually that's how. Honestly, that's usually how
Yeah,
it looks.
in that order. Mhm.
Also, they haven't announced it, so they're not going to announce it to January 22nd. So, anyways,
Okay.
so let's go back to the Golden Globes, and I'm just going to talk about the two black movies, just for the sake of time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's kind of, where we want to lean in on the culture, right?
Mhm.
So the movie One Battle After Another is this revolutionary. I would recommend you watch it. It's interesting, but I feel like it's a very conflicting. It's one of those movies that people either love or they hate.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't really know how I feel about it. I can say visually it's stunning. I could say the actor performances are very good, but it's
Mhm.
more like the content and what they're trying to say, which I think it loses some of it's interesting because the movie is based on a book, right?
Mhm.
And they
Mhm.
do some race swapping. So the
Mhm.
character that Teyana Taylor plays is white in the book. And I think it changes a lot of some of the nuances. For me, that's
Mhm.
kind of sometimes when you do race swapping or gender swapping from
Yep,
a
it
different
can. Mhm.
it can change the
Different
meaning.
context.
It could
Mhm.
change the context completely. And I think that's
Mhm.
kind of one of the problems here, because I think I wouldn't have as much as an issue with the role if it was the character was white.
Mhm. Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, so she won for best supporting actress, and then for Sinners, they were nominated for a bunch of categories. So best film drama, they have
Mhm.
best actor for Michael B. Jordan, of course, best director for Ryan Coogler. So they're
Mhm.
getting all the big categories,
Mhm. Mhm.
as they should, and us also original screenplay, again, as they should. So long story short, to wrap up on the Sinners thing before I get into
Mhm.
Teyana Taylor, is Sinners only won in the Golden Globes for I think best original score, which the music is so good in that, so
Mhm.
good, and best box office um perform best cinematic box office achievement, because remember everybody was talking shit about the revenue, and then
Yup.
they came and smashed about, I think they made about 300. I think it went up to
Mm.
about globally box office or close to the 300 mark, and it cost 90,000
Mm-mm.
to make, so they made the money three times over. So
Mm-mm.
that's in this day and age, in 2026 or 2025,
Okay.
that is huge. And again, I said the best. I think it was musical score or soundtrack or something. Again, very good soundtrack. All right. So now Tiana Taylor went
Mhm.
was movie. That movie, One Battle After Another, won Best Director. Tiana Taylor, and I believe it got Best Film. So those are huge categories. Director, Best Film. Those are huge categories that they won. Now let's get on to Tiana Taylor. First of all,
Yes.
congrats to her.
Yes.
I
Congrats.
want to give her her flowers. That
Mhm.
she, it's a huge, either way, it's a huge achievement regardless. and
It is. It
she's worked
is.
very hard um to get there. She's been doing all the movies, doing all the roles, doing all the press. So she's worked really hard, and eventually, her work has paid off. Now, I've watched the movie.
Mm.
The movie is almost 3 hours long.
Jeez.
It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oy
Okay.
vey, too much.
Tiana Taylor is in that movie max 20 minutes.
Wow.
Okay.
Golden
Second,
Globe? Golden Globe. Okay.
go right. Second,
Ay, vey. I know what's
um,
happening here. Okay.
it's some people, and again, the movie can be interpreted a couple of ways, but some people have called it kind of like a white savior movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going
That's
to
what
get
I'm.
into that
Yeah.
because everything can be up for interpretation. What I don't like at the end of the day, why this is a topic I'm dancing around, is she is playing a role that's very, very sexual, very overtly sexualized,
Hypersexual. Hyper.
hypersexual, with two different white men. She has some very gray area. Her motives are very gray, and they never went into depth. I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind some of, because she makes some bad decisions. I'm not going to spoil the movie, but she does a couple of things where, like, typically you'd be like, "What black woman?" But I'm not going
Right?
to say, because we as people are nuanced. I don't have a problem with the decisions, but they didn't have enough depth to her character
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to explain that decision. So, not that I'm on her side, but it's nuanced and it's understandable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you have this hypersexualized character doing all these questionable things, and you don't build out her story for us to kind of like get it. And so, as I say, she deserved this award for a couple other movies that she's done. A couple years ago, she did a movie where she was the actual lead.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
called 1001 a
Mm-hmm.
couple years
Mm-hmm.
ago. Brilliant. I didn't see,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what, I only seen clips. I didn't even. I still need to go watch that movie. But anytime there's too much family trauma, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
check out. But she was getting accolades. I believe she was nominated, and I feel like I would have liked it better if she won the award for a movie like that
Mm-hmm.
versus
Mm-hmm.
this.
Well, and you see, I haven't seen the movie, and I am
Mhm.
going to watch it now,
Yes.
particularly because I want to see her 20-minute shine. But
Mhm.
ultimately, like, this woman has been on the grind literally since she was a teenager, like
Mhm.
15, 16, 17 years old. And you see, I've watched her career over the
Right.
years. And I'm just sad to see that you're honored in this way for
Mm.
this role.
That's the thing that hurts, I think.
That's the thing that hurts. And what hurts about it is that Hollywood, I understand that you just look at the black woman as a hypersexual being that can't seem to get her life together, who's super aggressive, or some, like, it's just, that's the part, like, this is what you honor, like all the roles that she has, been a part of, all the music that she has made,
Mhm.
all of the choreography that she, like, her career, and it boils down to her being, from the clips and from what I'm seeing
Mm.
without seeing the movie,
Yeah.
just a whore. Like, I mean, we're
Well,
just we're just whoring ourselves out to these white men here. And and hey.
and that's where the color swap, the race swap doesn't work. Because do I look at it, interpret it this way
No,
if
but
it's another
why
a white
we
woman?
why are we only giving her her flowers for this
Yes.
type of role?
That's
That's
where
my thing. Her career up until this point has been more than just being a hypersexualized black woman. Like, that's the part that gets me. And Tiana, I'm not going to take their flowers from you,
no,
because
she
even
deserved
if it
it.
were 20 minutes in the damn movie, girl, you deserve to be honored. And
Yeah.
when I say I've watched her career, I've also seen her get slept on left, right, and to the center.
Hmm.
Okay, she's been slept on
Right.
over and over again, and she's turned, lemons into lemonade, and she's drinking now. But
Well, what
girl,
I can
this
see,
role, I
outs
don't know, girl.
right, girl. So what I can, and it's not her fault. I think
It's
it's more.
not. But in the same breath, will it ever not, like, will it ever not be this way?
Well, that's the
Because
thing, because and that's where the parallels are coming out right now with between her and this award and Halle Berry getting the Oscar for Monsters
mhm.
Ball, because Halle
Mhm.
Berry was churning out A+ performances left, right, and center.
Okay.
And let's put it, change it, let's broaden it. Black women have been doing amazing roles left, right, and center. And we always talk about Angela Bassett being robbed for What's Love Got to Do with It, if we want to
Oh,
take it all the way
she was
back there.
robbed. She was
She was
robbed.
robbed. So if we want to just even take it outside of Hallie's win, all black women who've been nominated and put up for this award, the first black woman outside of since Gone with the Wind, and it was a woman who was playing a woman of the house in the slave
Mhm.
days.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
as far when all like so the modern black woman to win in a first modern black woman to win an Oscar award was for Monsters Ball, and it was ridiculous. It was just a fetish. It was just a complete fetish
And this is
business.
one too. And that's my thing,
Mhm.
is that okay, so in Hollywood, there's only a few roles that black women are portrayed in. Like, okay, let me clarify. If
Mhm.
it's not a movie that is a black movie,
Mhm.
okay, then if they're in roles where there are, all, it's multicultural,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I find that there's only a few roles that they typecast black woman into: the
Right.
broke black woman, the aggressive
Mhm.
black woman, the
Mhm.
hypersexualized black woman, okay, or the slave black woman,
Right.
okay, who is
Right.
like, we're
Mhm.
always at Jemima up in here. Like,
Mhm.
I'm just saying that black women are so much more than that, right? And I would love to see Hollywood highlight other aspects of being a black woman, or put black women in roles. If you're going to come and race switch up, can you
Mhm.
race switch up a billionaire? Like, can you race switch up, an astronaut? Like, could you do some of that too? Like,
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, can we even out the
Yeah.
score? Like, you know, I just
And for this category, I'm gonna
poor
host.
Teyana.
And this
Girl,
category, Wumi Masako, who plays a one of the supporting women lead actresses in Sitters, she had a breathtaking role. I'm still waiting on you. You still need to watch that, girl. Um,
I know,
even if you stop when the vampires show up, I think you can get a good eye of the
I know,
idea
because you
of the
know how I
story.
am. I can't.
But anyway,
No, I
when
want
you
to see it, though.
you're
I
a busy
do.
person, it's okay. I'm saying so. Wumi wasn't nominated in this award. She's been nominated in the other big SAG-AFTRA and
Mm-hmm.
Critics' Choice, but she wasn't nominated for this. Because to me personally, I would have loved to see Wumi win this, but it's a competitive category. But in the
Mm-hmm.
same breath, I'm like, how competitive is it if Tiana Taylor won for 20 minutes in a 3-hour movie? Sorry, that's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm nitpicking. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
long story short, to your point, I felt like Wumi Masako's character was more balanced
Mm-hmm.
in playing Annie in Sinners. And I heard this interesting commentary from Higher Learning again, Van Lathan
Mm-hmm.
again with his takes. And he's like, Hollywood would have awarded Sinners if the black people, if all the white people were vampires and the black people were slaves, and it would have been this in a that.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been if you change, the typical, just like you're describing, the typical movie that they
Mm-hmm.
award. If it was more of that and less empowering to the black characters in the movie, oh yeah, they'd be sweeping up the
What?
thing.
Okay.
But because you know what I mean, and honestly,
Yep.
seeing this, he's kind of got, and there's a little nut of truth there. So in short, I am happy for her, and she deserved this award for a couple other performances,
She
namely like
does.
namely
Yeah.
the one I just told you, 1001. But in 1001, she is playing
Mm-hmm.
a downtrodden single mother. Da 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 da. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
See?
But I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping, what I do hope, the ray of light for this for me and her career is
Mm-hmm.
she'll get more diverse roles from here. That's my
Well,
wish for
that's the
her.
thing.
That's my
And
wish.
Yes, and that's what I'm also compensating in my head, and I'm thinking, well, at least this opens her up to diverse roles. And so I would love to see what's going to come out of her next.
Right.
Um yeah, but change up the roles. Like black women are more than that. Like yowzers. I just if you're going to
Yeah.
change up the roles race-wise, can't you put a black woman in a position, other than being a slave, aggressive, and single mother, or what? Like, we're not the only single mothers out here, but for some reason we hold down these spots. But
Right?
anyhow.
Anyway, we'll move on to something. So congrats to her and the movie. It's, despite how you feel about the movie, it's well executed. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see. Okay, next story. We have some funny next headline. So Cam Newton. Oh, Cam Newton. Ugh.
I,
Okay, oy vey.
I'm telling
Um
you, I can't with him. He's too stupid for
so
me
Cam Newton,
sometimes.
he always
Oh,
has a podcast. Anytime he has an intelligent woman on his podcast, it's always going to be some viral clips coming out. Anyway,
it's just the attack for me. Like,
did you
I
see any of the clips?
I did. I actually
Hmm.
watched his whole interview with
Oh,
her.
that's so funny.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, I sure did.
you
That's
have a
why I was
good.
like, I can't with him. Like the ignorance of it all. Like it's the attack. It's the subtle. It's the passive aggressive attack on a smart black woman that gets me. Okay, just yeah, go on with the intro, girl.
Okay, so she
Because
came. So I think she's releasing. I've seen her on a bunch of podcasts. So I'm assuming she's has some new music out or coming soon.
hmm
And I'm gonna be honest. I've heard the name. I've seen clips and freestyles, which are good, but I haven't actually listened to any of the music. So maybe
hmm
now I'm very interested. I'm
I
very
listened
curious.
to some of her music.
She's a smart young lady,
Yeah,
and
she's
so
kind of dope with her lyrics too. I will say.
yeah,
Um,
she's
just
actually more conscious. Suppose
yeah,
like even though her
very much
image,
so.
I
Yeah,
didn't looking at her image, and even though if I look at her image, she actually isn't like overtly like even in the
overly
interview.
sexual. No,
Yeah, so
because she's
she
really
just
smart.
right, and but because she has that conventional attractiveness, you might assume or whatever.
Hmm
But I'm gonna check her out. So
Yeah,
because
you
I
should
regret not knowing
lyrically,
much.
lyrically. But you know what? I think what her problem is,
Hmm.
she hasn't found the right beat maker.
She hasn't had the sound. Yeah, she doesn't have a producer to work
She
with her.
just hasn't found them yet. But her
Hmm.
her lyrics are tight, and her
Mm.
vocab. That girl's tongue is a sword. It's a sword. Listen to her.
Okay.
I had to listen to her after Cam because I was like, this stupid ass. Let me let me
So
listen to
she
her
goes
music
on
now.
Funky Friday, and she's actually saying a lot of little things. Like he's being very, I guess some people describe
Facetious, rude,
facetious,
arrogant.
and he could tell
Yeah.
that he's has a confident, intelligent woman in front of him that he can't like own. He couldn't control the interview, which is what obviously as an interviewer you want to control it, but even worse so with him. And so he was being kind of passive aggressive. So in one of the passive, there's at least three or four clips
Yes.
where I saw,
But
but
I would think almost five, but okay.
the
Maybe
main
I
one,
just
and
can't
she's
stand his ass. I
shading
don't
him
know.
left, right, and center. Like he's coming with it, and she's giving it right back.
Yeah, but some of it went right over his head
His
because
head, he didn't
I'm
even
telling
know
you,
that. Yeah, that was the
okay,
funny part. That was so.
meathead. He like
He's a
shoot. This
jock,
is
dumb
what
jock.
too
The
much
dumb
hits on the head, bro. Too much,
right.
too many.
So the one that everybody's talking about is she goes to him. Um, how would you describe your style? And he says he says a bunch of words, and in that word vomit, he says
Thank you.
he
Hmm
says eclectic to mean obviously eclectic. And so when Lady London corrects him, she's like, "Oh, you mean like
You
you
mean
mean eclectic?
you mean
Eclectic?"
hectic,
He's like,
right?
"No." Then he doubles down. He's like,
Yeah,
No,
doubles
I meant
down.
no, I
That's the
meant it
stupid part.
eclectic, eclectic." And she's like,
No,
"Oh,
dummy.
spell that." And
Jesus.
this man had the nerve. I'm gonna spell it. Eclectic again. NECLECT.
Oh Lord.
Wait for it. Wait for it. A.
Okay.
Where did the A come from at the
Okay.
end?
Okay. Okay.
And so,
Does he remember that he's speaking to a woman who is like She went to Harvard for science.
How she went to Howard. She's a Howard
Howard.
grad.
Howard.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Harvard. Howard. Okay, like she's not stupid, B.
And she's a poet. She's like, her pen
Oh
is
my
dangerous,
god.
like you
But
said.
okay.
So she called. She's like, are you sure? She's like, what? Where'd that come from? And then she goes, when he's like, the N is there on purpose. She's like, what does the N stand for? Niggatry? And he just nodded. I was like, you
My
could,
girl.
like, girl, he needed to pause. He just nodded like that was the most brilliant idea. He's like, yeah, actually, yeah, that's what it means. Like
Such
a
an idiot.
dummy.
Such an idiot. Like you don't even realize the woman has displayed your stupidity. Like she's let you, and that's the part of the whole. When I'm looking at it, I'm just like, Cam, just read the questions because you're not good with banter at all. Okay. You can't hold your own because if you notice, when he can't hold his own, he starts to get defensive and more passive aggressive in the conversation and wanting to cut people off a little bit more, right? And you can see that she has already outsmarted him from the top of the conversation. So now, if you had any sense, you would see that she's embarrassing you over and over and over again. And you, like the meathead that you are, you're not even seeing the level of embarrassment that she's putting you at. You're taking it for surface level. I can't with Cam. Um, Lady London, girl, you took it easy on this man. You did. Hmm. Her vocab is too. The woman, her tongue is a sword, and I felt like she was holding back because she
And
was
she
like, I
did.
don't really want to make that much of a fool of you. Like if you
And
might go
she's
down
keeping
in
it
viewers.
classy. She's keeping it
She was,
classy.
but in the same breath, she was outsmarting him left, right, and center
Left,
in
right,
those
and center,
conversations. Like you could tell it went over his head,
yeah. Yeah, completely.
like time after time. It it was sad. It was sad.
So it was interesting. So it was entertaining to kind of see some of that, but now I'm interested in her music, so I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, and I started to listen to her music, and the one consistent thing I took away was she's great, but her beats aren't.
Okay.
And if she just get on the right beat, my girl has the look. She has the look. She's drop dead gorgeous. Like
Mhm.
honestly, there
Mhm.
were times, and she's stylish and she's edgy,
Yeah, you
and
could
she
tell he was
has,
very intimidated by that too.
yeah, very
Mhm.
very intimidated because what you got, your, what did he call it? Eclectic. What did he say? Whatever it is,
Eclectic.
your money doesn't phase her.
Mhm.
Like you could tell that with a woman like her,
Oh.
to turn her on is through her brain.
Mhm.
Like you have to be smart. She's smart, she's quick-witted, her tongue is fire, her vocab is out of this world. I haven't heard that type of vocab come out of, these rappers nowadays. Like she bring it back to like the good old days where,
Mm.
hip hop was you know, it meant something. It meant
Mhm.
something. But Cam, my thing with Cam is that a part of me feels like he looks at women like objects,
Of course he does.
and yeah, but it's so like in your face. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
he's not even trying to hide it.
Mm.
Like
He can't. He's been too spoiled.
yeah, very much so. And the type of women that he gets to live in his harem, I don't
Mhm.
know. They're not, either they're playing him, okay, and
Mhm.
he's too stupid to see it,
Mhm.
or if you got it, which he does, he's tricking it off
You right?
because he's not very bright. Cam is not very bright, right?
No, and if I wasn't sure, this interview proved it.
Thank you. And he tries, and that's the thing that gets me with Cam is that he tries to act like he's the smartest motherfucker in the room, and you're not. You're not. Even the cameraman is smarter than you. Okay? Because he pans at the right moments. Like you are still trying to get with the conversation. I said, Lady London, girl. Because I was just, and the way that she was reading him like
Oh
left, right, like
gosh.
she got from the whip. She's like, okay, I know what kind of man you are.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly how to deal with you. I'm gonna play with you. I bet you Cam tried to get her number. Bet
He
you any
probably would
money.
know better. He no. He well, I don't
You know
know.
why I say that? Because Cam is the type of man that if he came across a girl that was going on, had something going for herself, he would try to humble her.
Yes,
He's
yes.
that type of guy. He'd
But
try
I
to
would
break
hope
her
that he
down.
has enough sense to see that, and that's why he was acting so awkward. Is that wouldn't work with this one?
No, no, right? But that's his forte.
Mm,
Like he'd try to humble her, break her down a bit. That's the type of character he is. But
hmm.
anyway, it was funny
Yeah. So
nonetheless.
it was just funny
Hmm.
nonetheless. All right. So quick music news. Uh, it's
Yes,
so funny. I put these down, but I didn't realize they didn't release. The only one we had. So we have ASAP new music coming.
yes,
For
yes. I
ASAP
like his
Rocky came
music
out this
still.
week. And then J. Cole, I got confused. I think he released this. It was a teaser. The album doesn't come out till February 6th, the fall off.
Mm-hmm.
February 6th for J. Cole. So we'll review that. And then finally, Miss Jilly, after 10 years, Jill Scott,
I don't know,
her
Jilly.
first album in 10 years, To Whom It May Concern, drops February 13th. She has a couple singles out. One and the main one is Beautiful People. So I seen her Colors. You know, Colors, the studio, they always do like these performances. So I seen
Yeah,
that. She's in true Jilly form. So
yeah,
I don't know if we're getting anything new. Like, I don't know what to expect, but at the very least, I think we're gonna get the Jilly, the Jill Scott that we all know and love. Um,
yeah. But
so
growth is
February,
always nice.
yes, growth is always nice. I'm sure because she does have some features, from some newer artists on there. So Tierra, like Tierra Whack, Brent Fayez. So features is another way to kind of bring new flavor. So February 13th around Valentine's Day. So we'll have to. That's when we'll review that because ASAP Rocky. I'm gonna be honest. ASAP Rocky is not my favorite from the ASAP crew. ASAP Rocky is a pretty boy. I'm sure he can rap, and when he came out, he was very interesting. But I think he's more of like a cultural icon
Yeah, yeah.
than a rapper right now. That's just me, and maybe
No,
I will.
well, when
Yeah.
I listened to his album, I liked Punk Rocky. I
Oh,
did. I think it
the new
was
one? Yes, and did you listen to the new one?
yeah, I did. And
I
I
have to
thought
listen to it.
you know what ASAP Rocky is? He's so eclectic. He's a
Hmm.
trendsetter and
Hmm.
I think his music, like he's taking his fashion and his love for fashion
Hmm.
and his eclecticness for fashion and putting it in an album.
Right.
And that's right up his alley,
Right.
right? Like from what
So
I've
he's
heard, I haven't
merging
listened to the
everything.
whole thing yet, but from
Hmm.
what I heard, I was like, okay, this is different. Like,
Okay.
I can respect it different because what we've been hearing as of late, different is good, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we need it. We need
So
some in
that's
hip,
what
especially in
from
hip hop.
okay. Um, there's also Stay Here for Life, which was a nice one too.
Okay.
Um,
I'm assuming that
overall,
is
like I think
dedicated to his family.
right, right,
Hmm.
and I think overall, ASAP Rocky is just such an eclectic person that
Hmm.
he'll just dibble dabble in everything. And
Hmm.
he tries to cross them over at times because I felt like he was like I said before, his eclecticness in fashion and putting it in music form.
Hmm.
And I'm always down to hear something different, and I don't know if Rihanna ever going to come out with another album, so I'll take what I can get from that
This is what you
family.
can get. This is
So
what we're gonna get.
okay, I'm gonna take what I can get from that family at this point. And it wasn't from what I heard, it's not horrible. I'm
Yeah, I
sure
don't
he's
think it would
had
be
connections
horrible.
with. No, it's not horrible. It's not.
Hmm.
It's not. It's just you know what? It was like Andre 3000 when we were growing up. How different he was. And I
Hmm.
think this music is just that, but now we're up to speed. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes, yes,
Like
yes,
now
yes.
we're up to speed and we understand the different and it's
We
actually
understand the
great.
difference, but I almost feel like again, this is me not saying it, and I definitely feel like I could be going ahead of myself before listening to it. But it's almost kind of like we already passed that. Like it's like we
Yes, this is
to that
the
sound.
same ASAP. This is the same.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So to the song you mentioned, everybody, before we move on to this and we'll go into our first segment, Punk Rocky is his first single, the one that you saw. So
Mhm. Mhm.
the news and like all the hoopla, the buzz around the album is that that song has a stupid has a Drake reference,
Mhm. Mhm.
which I think is annoying because like I could have sworn he already said that in another freestyle, but he said first you stole my flow, so I stole your bitch. This is in reference to um
Rihanna.
Rihanna, which some
Yeah.
people didn't really like because it's
Yeah.
like this that's some other your children now, right? But I'm sure but people are kind of like assuming that he probably got the green light from her. So, you
Mhm.
know,
And I
but
don't think Rihanna would take offense.
no, honestly, knowing her, she's actually kind of ratchet. Rihanna's a little bit ratchet herself. So,
What?
hey.
My girl's ratchet when she ready. Work, 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 work. Okay, my girl ratchet when she ready, yeah. But I think she could see the artistry behind it.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to our first segment,
And
which
A$AP,
is
you're so handsome.
he's gorgeous.
He's a handsome man, isn't he? Like
Yeah.
I look at him and
He's
I'm just
actually too,
like,
I can't even call him handsome. He's too pretty. I can't,
yeah, he's a
he's
little pretty at sometimes. Sometimes he's a little too
but
pretty for me. But
mm,
overall, his facial structure, like I just
mm,
want to, hey, kudos to the black man. You know,
yeah,
he be
he's
looking
gorgeous.
nice.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he takes care of his skin. You know what
Of
I mean?
course. Oh
Like
yeah.
that type. Like he
His
takes care
skin,
of
his
himself,
teeth, everything.
right?
His hair.
We don't have to look like we came out the mud, even if we did. Like shit, you put a little shine on it, you know. And
Right.
I like his eclecticness, and
Right.
he's the only person. Well, there's two people, Prince and him, where I don't mind when they dabble into female fashion
Hmm.
because he makes it look masculine.
I agree because he's not. He doesn't look like a. You're right because there's a way to tap into that feminine thing without
Like
being
I've seen him with barrettes,
Yeah, yeah. We've seen nail polish, barrettes.
a purse.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it. I get
Right,
it.
and he's and Prince was the other one. I was just like Prince, yes, Purple Rain. With him, I was just like Prince, you're a little, dabbling, but he made it look so masculine. Like I don't understand how they do it, but he does it. He does it.
Mhm.
ASAP's one of them.
So yeah, kudos to him.
Hmm.
Congrats on the new album. All
Yes,
right, so
I
we'll
can't wait
jump into
to hear
our
the other ones.
first.
Hmm.
We'll jump into our first segment. Lot of mercy.
Lord have mercy.
And in this segment, we talk about news and stories and things we see. We're just the only explanation we could say is "Lord have mercy." This is
Please,
crazy. Lord,
nuts.
take the wheel type of news.
This is it.
And so this one is kind of tongue in cheek. And of course, we have to talk about Druski and that big mega church skit.
Drewski
It's one,
boy.
and as much as Druski has been making us laugh for years, he's had a lot of big, funny skits, especially in the last couple of years, that are very memorable.
Yep.
But this is his most successful one. I wonder why.
Mhm.
His most successful skit, and the man has done many, many successful skits.
Mhm.
So the Megachurch skit, he that's been going around. In short, to just describe it,
Mhm.
he's pretty much parodying a flashy prosperity focus mega church pastor.
Mhm.
He's doing all the theatrics that we've seen in recent news about these
Yep.
type of pastors, wearing the obviously designer suit, driving the ridiculously expensive car, um, doing the theatrics in the church, like locking up the
Mhm.
doors, shaming your attendees or
Mhm.
patrons,
Mhm.
um, all the things that we talked about some of those stories on the
Yes,
show,
we have.
scamming your
That's right.
members. So essentially this came out, and it's so funny, I saw it in real time when it like in on Inst- on that's I saw it
Mhm.
on Instagram. and I laughed out loud at least 3 times. At least I was
Me
like,
too.
"What? This guy is
This
crazy," and that
guy's
was it.
nuts.
I didn't think much of it. It's just another Druski skit. It was just another Druski, very funny
Mm-mm,
Druski skit. No, couple days
mm-mm,
later, all I'm seeing all these think pieces and articles and vlogs and
mm-hmm.
and stuff about like this, and I'm like, every I looked at the comments everywhere I've been, my algorithm, I've just seen people um admiring the work, and not only the content, the subject matter, but even the production. That was high production. And I heard from the backstory of one of the girls who tends that was a real church that he used.
Wow.
Um, and the members were real. And he just
Mm-mm,
brought his camera and his stuff. They didn't know anything. They were just told to do in the background, and he did his thing.
mm-hmm,
So, and it was a pretty. So everybody's like, "Damn, he has money to do this." But I mean, he's
mm-hmm,
been doing high quality skits for a while now. So
mm-hmm.
yeah. And so people are saying that some Christians are offended, calling it sacrilege, or like, disrespectful.
Mm.
People are saying this. I personally have not seen it myself. I haven't seen a comment or the people, maybe they're embarrassed now, I don't know, but like outwardly saying that they have a problem with the
Yeah,
skit.
hit dog will holler, won't it?
Right? I haven't
Um,
seen it, but I have seen one pastor. I don't know his name, but his face looked familiar, doing a prayer where he's like, well, he was being very political. Where it was borderline, where he's like, well, Drewski did a skit on like 1% of the church.
that's a lie.
Mega one stop 1% of the church, which is a mega church. A mega church is a very specific type of church.
Mm-hmm.
I could give him that. I don't know the percentage of them, but I could agree that a mega church is a very specific type of church. And that he said, you know what, and there's truth, basically, long story short, saying there's some truth in um there's truth in comedy. And there's a reason why this skit is very successful. So then he closes out with a prayer about the church to
Mm-hmm.
kind of, correct and perception and something like that. So that's the only thing where I was like, eh. He obviously didn't love it, but he wasn't like really criticizing it and condemning Drewski in any way.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Like I said, a hit dog will holler. And those who don't like it, maybe you need to self-reflect.
Mhm,
There are mega churches, and my dad is very cynical about
mhm,
churches, very,
mhm,
very cynical. And there's one thing that I do agree with him on
mhm,
is that if a pastor or a priest or whatever is living better than the congregation that they live in,
mhm,
there's a problem.
mhm,
There's a problem because the church is meant to serve the community that it's in. That's what a church
mhm,
is there for.
mhm,
Spiritually, physically, mentally, they're supposed to be in the community as a resource for the community.
mhm,
So if a pastor or head pastor of a church is living better than the community that they're supposed to be serving, we have to reevaluate. These mega churches, a lot of them, and it's not just in the black churches, like don't get it twisted. It's not just in the black churches, it's in the white churches too. They tend to live very lavish lives,
mhm.
very lavish lives. And I know personally, I've seen over the years, Joel, what's his name? Joel uh,
Joel Olstein?
Olstein
Yeah.
was criticized many years ago. I think they had a tornado or there was
Yes, I
something.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and people were going to the church, this big mega church, for help, and they were shutting their doors.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when Druski now comes and he puts on this skit, the people who are offended are the people who might need to rethink this whole thing right here. What he's bringing to light is those mega pastors, or the pastors that are a part of mega churches who are living beyond the means of a pastor,
Mhm.
beyond the community's means, and you should be giving back to the community. Now, does that mean you have to live like a pauper? No.
No. No.
But what he's bringing to light here is, should you have the Louis Vuitton on? I don't know. Should you have the red bottoms on? I don't know. Should you be nobody can touch your car unless they pay their tithes?
Right?
like like we've seen in the last little while, where you're locking people in because you want them to donate.
Well, that's more the lines where I was like, yeah, that's
or
where,
or the lady that came up and said, this is what I got and I want to put it
yeah.
towards good use for the church, and you told her you ain't got the 2 grand that you said that I told you to have. Like, these is what he's bringing to light. And so I think he did a great job. I laughed right through it. It's very true. And Druski, keep doing your skits, my
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah.
because it's ruffling some feathers around here. And I think maybe some feathers need to be ruffled.
Right?
I think that's what that is, you know.
So,
But Druski, he's funny as man. The
yeah.
man came in like he's flying, showing off the red bottoms. I was like, I know he, for the skit, he
Yeah.
dramatized it.
Yeah, but did you see the real life clip of the pastor coming into the church on the what do you call the aerial ropes? I don't even know what you call that. But there is a clip,
See?
and in defense of him, every that clip has resurfaced, and I saw it. It's 10 times funnier. Somebody did that. He took it from what he's seen. He took,
This is what he's seeing, and he's probably even seeing it in his own communities, in his own,
mm,
growing up. He probably
yeah,
seen all of this.
yeah,
you know um yeah, and the pastor shouldn't be a rolling stone. That's another thing. Money
right.
is one thing, but the pastor should not be a rolling stone, rolling right out throughout the church. Okay, having, secret families all over the church either.
Hmm.
Okay, so Druski, maybe that might be another idea to tap into. But
The part,
overall,
the
it was
part, the
funny.
part two. He might need
He
to
needs to
definitely need
have
to
a
do a
part
part two.
two. And these are things that we've mentioned here on our podcast too, when trying to
Hmm.
expose the stupidness and mockeries that's going on here. But overall, we should all have discernment. And so when you see something like this, even though it's really dramatic, if it don't feel right, if it don't seem right.
I have a question for you. What do you think the appeal is to mega churches? Because there are a few things like these incidences where it could be like, especially when you look at your head pastor, it could be kind of like a turnoff if you're like somebody who traditionally wants to go to a church and just get the word and support
Yeah,
your community. So what do you think the appeal, why do
the
people like if
congregation. The
mhm,
congregation is larger, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
so I've noticed in my church, which, at one point it was a lot larger than it is now, but
mhm,
at one point it was really large. And so you break off into smaller groups, and so you have more people to help keep you accountable. You have more people who are investing in your progress as well.
mhm, mhm,
um, in a larger church, they can have buses to come and pick up people
mhm.
who can't
That's
come.
true.
They
That's true.
have, handicap buses for, people who are like, for instance, my church, we do have a service that comes specifically to our church to drop off wheelchair bound people who still
Right.
want to, whatever their illness or ailment is, they still want to worship, right? And so
Mhm.
larger churches have the facilities to bring the congregation to the
Yeah.
church,
Mhm.
right? And while they're at the church, there's lots of people, lots of hands. So when you
Mhm.
want to have fellowship and you want to, there's lots of people that can help to have that, facilitate those things.
Mhm.
Larger churches, I find you can get lost
Mhm.
sometimes, if you don't start to, like, cultivate your own little inner circle within
Mhm.
the church. um, but they have resource. Now, if the resource is being used properly, you also have a way to minister to outside of the church, to go into the community where the church will fund it, right?
Mhm.
So I know from my church, they do missionary stuff all the time,
Yeah.
and they're
Mhm.
going all over the place all the time to, bring people closer and closer to God. Now, when you are in a smaller church, you know, sometimes you can't even pay the people to that are working in the church. And
Right.
yes,
Yes.
most people have to make a living in the church. However, it's supposed to be you know, you're not supposed to be getting rich.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the standard rate that you would be paid if you're a secretary, that where everybody else is making, that's what they would pay you. I as a secretary, you shouldn't be making six figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a
Mm-hmm.
little ridiculous. However, to answer your question, I think what's appealing to most people is when you're in a larger church, if you find the right people to keep you motivated in that church, it could be a blessing because you have people that will make sure that you're a part of the church and that you come to church, and that we also have a service at my church where um, we call the members of the church and check in on them,
Mm-hmm.
especially when the pandemic was happening. There's a lot of elderly people that come to the church, right? And so they would call in and check in on them.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? Do you want me to pray with you? And
Mm-hmm.
so when you have more bodies, you
You
can
got
have
yeah.
more.
You get those programs
Right,
and support the
exactly,
community.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so it doesn't fall on one person to be, you know the ministry for the kids and the secretary. Oh, and yeah, she does the food when we have gatherings too. So that could be an appeal, but just don't get lost, because it's easy. It could be very
Mm-hmm.
easy for you to get lost in the church. That's a large church,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that, to answer your
Yeah.
question, I
So
I
yeah,
think that's
I
for
agree. I
me.
agree. I think it's one part, like a lot of what you just said, and the only thing I would add is um like when you see some people just like um it's kind of like when you're selecting a product or a club.
Hmm.
Are you going to go to the club that has lots of people, whether you
Right.
know why the people are there or not? It just looks big and shiny,
Right.
or you're going to go to the simple
Right.
place where you know what I mean, the
Right.
humble place, right? And
Right.
so I also think it's an appearance and poppy show thing
Yeah.
too.
That's
Like,
true.
oh,
That's true
there's
too.
more of a crowd there, so I can
Yeah.
go and you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
And some
Um,
people take church like
and not in
fashion
a bad
show.
way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but
No,
I
because
get
some people go to church like it's a fashion show. Like, they're more
yeah.
concerned about how they look and the appearance, and pretending, than actually worshiping. So, no, you're right. You're right. It's true.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, great little side chat there. So we'll move on to our final segment for the evening, and
Yeah.
that is what a guan for real.
I'm for real.
And so in this segment, we look at stories that just don't add up. They
Don't
don't
make no
make
sense.
sense. They don't make sense. We hear them, we see them, and we have to ask the question, what a guan for real?
For
Or in
real.
plain English, what is happening here? What is going on here? All
Okay.
right, so we're going to be talking about another podcast, but namely, not naming them. We're going to be talking about Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about Jasmine Crockett before, but essentially, she's a very vocal, she's in the House of Representatives, I believe in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and she's now looking to move up to Senate.
Yep.
We know her very well because she's one of the very vocal folks in the House of Representatives on the Democratic side, that we
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of her in media. We've seen she's had a lot of public battles, especially with like Margaret Taylor Greene from the Republican side, and we've just seen a lot of clips
Yeah,
and
Trump
things of
can't
her.
stand her ass. He can't
And Trump
stand
can't
her.
stand her, and for obvious reasons, she's very vocal against Trump and
Mm-hmm.
his administration, which I think that was kind of why people like her. Because remember,
Mm-hmm.
we were saying a lot with the Democrats, they always try to play it classy and cool, and they don't fight
Mm-hmm.
fire with fire. And it was refreshing to see a
Mm-hmm.
Democrat fight fire with fire.
That's right.
So if they're gonna throw mud, she's gonna throw mud,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was refreshing. Now, fast forward to this year, and the Texas is Senate is primary is up on March 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
So she is going up, and for obvious reasons, she's very popular and known. And there's another person going up for that position, James Talarico, who
Mhm.
is a white man and a progressive Christian teacher on the Democratic side.
Mhm.
Um, and recently, uh, actually, I'm not going to say this tidbit. So here's where the friction comes on. So the podcast is called Las Culturistas, and it's
Mhm.
these two gay men. One is Born Yang, who was on SNL for many years. He recently ended his tenure there, but
Mhm.
it's actually a great. If you're into pop culture, it's actually a great
Mhm.
podcast. I listen to them every once in a while, and I was like just hearing all these talk, these um seeing these headlines with Bowen Yang Matt Rogers, who's the host of that podcast, and Jasmine Crockett. I'm like, how could anything negative be between these two groups of
Mhm.
people? It wasn't adding
Mhm.
up. So as I looked into it, that's why I wanted to talk about it. It was very unusual. So pretty much they were on their podcast and it came up to the topic that they were pretty much saying that they don't think Jasmine Crockett is a good candidate for this role.
Yeah, of course.
And why
Mm.
they say that is because she's overexposed. She's like, her cards
Ugh.
wait, her she's pretty much shown her cards. Um and she's gotten a lot of media exposure. Remember, for good and bad. Like the other day, which is BS because every politician does this. They were showing her receipts for her hotels and her air flights being over budget because she's a public figure. They can look at
Mm.
her expenses, right? But the thing what they don't tell you when they have those headlines is if you want to look at 10 other people in her position, regardless of who they are, they would likely be over budget as well. They forget to mention that. But anyway,
Ugh.
it was unusual because it's like, listen, is she it just wasn't balanced. Here's my criticism. I don't disagree with them actually, to be honest. I do think she's overexposed. And she's kind of known for one thing. And then again, she's running in Texas. So I don't disagree with that opinion, but they didn't have a balanced conversation. So why are you calling out her? Okay, so you call out your issue with her running, and now you mention James Tellerico. Why didn't you have any facts or anything interesting on why you prefer James Tellerico outside of the fact that he's new?
Listen, enough with the nonsense with these people. Like the goalpost continuously moves.
Mm,
It's like, how can you say she's overexposed and you have Trump leading the country?
mhm,
When I think of overexposed as a president, okay, so we're not gonna do that. Okay, where I agree is
mhm.
that she has shown a lot of her cards.
Yes,
She
yes.
has. But someone as smart as Jasmine Crockett has an ace in her pocket.
Hmm.
She has an ace. Okay, I believe that she has an ace.
Hmm.
But I think, it's the hypocrisy of it all. Like, how can you say that about her? Yet look at how Trump has destroyed the idea of presidential respect or presidential
I get what you're saying.
mannerisms. Like, how can you say that when he has totally destroyed what was once such a regal and respected and just like being the president. At one point people would respect it because you are the president, you hold a
Mm,
certain demeanor, you carry
hmm.
yourself a certain way, you address the public in a certain fashion. You're not on the Twitter falling out, blasting out, crashing out. You're not doing all of that.
Hmm.
So how do you say that is okay, yet what she's doing is the same thing? I,
Yeah,
I
and I
will
think,
agree. She
and
needs that. I hope to God she has some aces in her back
yeah,
pocket, but
right. because I think the Democrats, they're overly worried, and again, I think a lot of people are going in on them. I'm being gracious because for me, where I think they're coming from is they want somebody who stands a real chance against the Republic.
Yeah, but the reason why she doesn't have a real chance is not because she's overexposed, it's because she's black. Let's
Okay.
call the spade, let's
Yes.
say the elephant in the
That's why
room.
this is an issue. Yes,
Yeah, like
yes,
let's
yes.
call it what it is. Like stop putting all this extra sauce on it. Like
Right.
you're trying to
you got
invent shit
you got
now.
to the
Like
heart. You got to the heart of
let's get
it.
to it, please, sir, because I can't with these people.
So the card. So what I was holding back, now that I've kind of laid
I
everything
can't.
out, there's a recent poll. So remember, this Senate, the election is March 3rd. A recent poll just showed, and why some people are a little bit upset with them, but again, I don't think this is all them. I think this is a Texas thing. A poll just showed Talarico leading Crockett by 9 points. So he has 47 points percentage of in terms of the early polls, and she has 38%. He has the white and Latino vote, of course, and she has 80% of the black vote. So to your point, this is what it comes down to.
It is like this is why I said led by saying the goalposts because
Mm,
they set the standard by having a president like Trump. So
mhm,
how can you now, like, I understand her party does, they want a different representation. I get it, right? However, you're trying to come to a gunfight with a knife.
mhm,
This is the new way of politics. Being overexposed is the new way of politics.
mm,
You just
mm,
got to have those aces in your back pocket.
mhm,
See, that's the difference, is that Jasmine is smart enough where she can have an ace in her back pocket and turn around the perception. She definitely could. But right now she's playing fire with fire.
mhm.
That's what she's doing. And she's not cowarding away and backing down like
Right,
most of the people on her party. She's actually standing up
right.
to the
Mhm,
bully, and
mhm.
she's not backing down. And what you're telling me is you've moved the goalpost where now you want this soft version of somebody
Right.
who's
That's the
going to stand
problem.
up to people like Trump. Like, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
What
Right.
want for real, people? Or what you want for real? You want someone to have a backbone, or you want someone to slide every time?
Right, because that was the problem with their last election, that everybody was pissed at
So stop
even the
moving the
Democrats.
damn goalpost then. Stop moving it, man. Okay, she's gotten to a point where people know who she is. And I'm sorry, what does overexposed really mean? How
Well,
are you overexposed?
that's the word I use, but if I were to
No,
use the
they said
word,
it too.
did they?
Yes, they did.
Because the phrase he used specifically, which I was like, what does that mean? So I interpreted it is too well defined, but I really think
Overexposed. What do you
that,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
too well
that
defined.
was my
What do that
interpretation.
mean?
That was my interpretation of
Come
it.
on, stop with the fuckery. The people that love the fuckery, you hear? Because it just doesn't make any logical sense. If you want people to vote for you, you have to be exposed. People have to like. Am I losing it or something? Like,
Mhm.
isn't that the whole point? That people, you expose yourself so people can hear your policies, your you know, they can see your qualities of being a leader and
Mhm.
therefore want to put you in the role of being a leader. How can you can never be overexposed in politics. Like, I just don't understand
That's
that.
true. That's a good point. That's
You
actually a good
can
point.
never be.
S-
People used to walk door to door trying to be exposed.
Let me say what
Like,
exactly he said. Matt
what
Rogers said.
are we saying?
So he says she's not gonna win a Senate seat in Texas, which both you and I know is damn near
That ain't
impossible.
because of nothing else, because she
Right.
black. Uh-huh.
Right? Okay, you got it. She's not going to win a Senate seat in Texas, you guys. We're going to need someone who is less defined at this moment and then rises up. Him
You
referring
are
to.
stupid.
Mhm.
Okay, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. If you're a politician of any kind, overexposure is what you want,
Mhm.
because you want people to be able to decide, do I vote for you or not? If you stay silent and like a church mouse, no one's going to know you or give a damn.
Mhm.
That's like, am I okay? Listen,
Yeah, I think
furthermore,
if
her
they're
whole
going to go
party,
forward with if they're going to go forward with the changes that people want in that party, which is they want to be more dominant, more let's stop playing it classy, fight fire with fire, then Jasmine Crockett fits that thing, that prototype of the direction that they quite frankly need to go in. But
they will
if they
do
want to go
anything.
safe,
They will
mhm.
do anything in their power not to have a black woman in power.
Oh,
That's
especially in
what I've
Texas.
realized.
Well, we're talking about Texas
I'm
too,
talking
so
about the world. I'm talking about
okay.
the United States of the damn
Well,
Americas.
yeah, that was proved at
Okay?
the last election.
Because
Yeah.
either which way, it doesn't matter what side Jasmine is on, she's going to get roadblocks because
Mm,
she's talking too much truth. She's
mm,
talking too much facts. She's talking too much of the people for the people. You see,
right,
politics
right.
has not been for the people and for a very long time.
Mm-hmm,
And she's bringing it back to those times. And whenever I see a black female making ground in politics, they always have a glass ceiling for her. And this is Jasmine Crockett's glass ceiling. And the fact that she wants to go and crack that, kick down the door and smack your chick type of thing,
mm-hmm.
they're holding her back. And they're finding any sort of stupid ass excuse that they could possibly find not to drive her and get behind her and
Right.
push her forward and propel her forward and say, we need to listen to her. When have you ever seen anybody say, we need to listen to this black woman right here? Never. I've never seen it. Never, ever.
I do want to say before we wrap that they did, of course, apologize,
Uh huh.
and
Backtracking
saying
pussy
that
pop now.
their
Hmm.
phrasing was not right.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, when they're getting backlash, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They
So
didn't think about that shit though. That's
no.
okay. Jasmine, you know what, girl? You're making some ground. You're making heads turn. You're making heads roll. You're making people, oh no, we gotta stop her. You're doing something right, girl, because
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to stop you. And the right people will listen, and the right people will vote. And I hope to God that you become the next senator. I really do. I really, really do. Because you're speaking facts. You're not going to quiver and run away. And that's what the politics in the United States needs right now, is somebody who is not willing to run away, somebody who cannot be bought, somebody who cannot be controlled, somebody who is relatable, somebody who is actually fighting for the people. And that's what she's doing, and she looks damn good while she's doing it. Okay. Okay. Eyelashes and all. Okay. Wigs and all. My girl is doing the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm not going to allow these people to gaslight me into thinking that she couldn't. They're already setting a narrative that she can't win.
Mm.
Her
That's the
own
problem.
people, her own
That's the problem.
side.
Because
Can
she's
you
trying to raise
imagine?
money. Yeah, she's trying to
My
raise
God.
money. So that's why the backlash. Like we know, I don't think black people, because we know these guys are like Democrats. They're not like but it's kind of like they put their foot in their mouth, and it's like you guys, come on, like we don't need this right now.
No.
Um, and I
No.
did want to say I don't know how much she has made in terms of fundraising, but since September, Talarico has raised 13 million,
Wow.
dwarfing everybody else in the field. So I'm not sure what her number is, but he's leading in terms of fundraising.
And I'm sure she had to put up a lot of it herself. So,
Mm,
which is sad. But overall, just to wrap up this whole
yeah.
show, Jasmine Crockett, like, you're doing the damn thing out here, and you're standing so strong. And I'm proud of you as a black woman, that you are not willing to sit down, that you're gonna fight to the bitter end. And even when the people who are even on supposedly on your team are the ones that you now have to fight up against. Horrible. But the fact that she has to fight up against the people who are supposed to be on her side is sad enough. But I
Right,
know that
right.
you'll rise like a phoenix from the ashes. You will rise, girl. And I see you rising. And keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing your damn thing, and you're talking truth, and you're bringing truth to power, and that hey, to me, we can't go wrong. We can't go wrong. We can't go wrong. But with all that said, Jasmine, kudos to you, girl. You got them talking, girl. You got them
Mm,
talking.
mm-hmm.
And we hope that everybody out there is going to be talking too, and leave us a comment, and talk to us and tell us what's going on. Tell us what's happening in these streets. And we do hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay active and thoughtful, passionate and thoughtful. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.